Welcome to another Deb and Pau vlogs. This vlog is a little different. In my opinion, it's more of a documentary. Let me explain. Since I can remember, and I don't really know why, but I've always had a strong affinity and admiration towards churches. Their incredible architecture, the high ceilings, and the ambience never cease to humble and inspire me. And since I've been in Colombia, more specifically in Medellín, I have been fascinated by the innumerable number of churches scattered all around this beautiful city. So I decided to document a few of these gems and share them with you in the best way I know how to. So without further ado, let's go to our first church or Iglesia located on the outskirts of the city center. Nuestra Señora del Perpetuo Socorro is a Roman Catholic church dedicated to Virgin Mary, means Our Lady of Perpetual Help. On the outside, the church displays exquisite Gothic-style architecture featuring three needle-like spires with subtle crosses adorning the tips. The church was constructed between 1945 and 1951. Stepping inside, you are greeted by the sun rays filtering in through the beautiful stained glass windows. The main altar is also meticulously crafted from marble and harmonizes beautifully with the colorful beams of light. The vibrant hues, detailed artwork, soaring sky-high ceilings, and spacious hallways create an almost dreamlike ambience. The towering spires and the colorful windows are the standout features for this church, making it a must-see for anyone visiting Medellín. That said, Church 1 is done. Now move on to Church 2, which is located roughly a kilometer from this one. This is the Iglesia de San Antonio de Padua. Constructed between 1874 and 1902, this church carries a history of over 120 years. The church appears to be swallowed by the whole city from all directions, without room to breathe, and it's quite unfortunate that its beauty and heritage is being dampened by the ever-expanding concrete jungle, which is a very common theme for a number of churches in Medellín. This is the only church I've encountered that features two entrances. The rear entrance opens into a long corridor with stairs that emerge beneath the altar, which I found to be quite distinctive. The front facade of the church shows signs of renovation and lacks glamour. However, the interior tells a different tale. Stepping in, your breath is taken away by the vastly spacious high hallways. The church's iconic dome is equally breathtaking and is one of the largest in South America. Various artworks and statues adorn the walls throughout the space. This church exemplifies the grandeur and enchanting presence that century-old churches possess, and I would definitely rank it among the top 5 churches to visit in Medellín. That said, let's move on to Church 3, which is located a kilometer and a half from this one, also quite unique. This church is known as Nuestra Señora del Sagrado Corazón, means Our Lady of Sacred Heart. The construction of this neo-Gothic church started in 1902 and encountered numerous challenges before its completion in 1931. This church is suffering the same fate as the former, being increasingly suffocated by encroaching buildings on all sides. The impressive spire, rising nearly 4 stories, is truly remarkable and captures attention. The front facade is relatively simple and appears to also have undergone significant restoration. Upon entering, you are guided towards the altar via a long, narrow aisle that feels somewhat constricted. A few chandeliers hang from the lofty ceilings, complementing the overall atmosphere beautifully. Of all the churches we visited so far, this one appears to have undergone the most amount of restoration and aftercare. While the interior may seem somewhat somber, the vibrant stained glass windows, an array of old paintings, and exquisite statues enhance the space. In one of the side chambers along the aisle, we came across a life-size statue of Christ. Overall, the statues, the colorful stained glass windows, historical paintings, and chandeliers does make the trip to this church quite worth it. So that's a wrap for church number 3. We're almost halfway there. Church number 4 is next, located about 800 meters, 15 minutes walk from this one. So without wasting any more time, let's get to it. This is the Iglesia de San Ignacio. Constructed between 1803 and 1809, this neoclassical church boasts a history of over 200 years. Interestingly, during the Civil War of 1885, this church served as a barrack for Colombian troops. Its location is at the heart of downtown Medellín at San Ignacio Square, right next to the historical headquarters of the University of Antioquia on its left. Inside, you are greeted by a white interior with burgundy and gold trims. Despite the somewhat claustrophobic location of the church, its incredibly innovative design allows sunlight to beautifully seep through the ceilings, casting a soft glow throughout the hallways and creating a serene ambience. The aisle leads you to the altar, which equally showcases beauty and elegance. A number of statues and paintings are on display inside, along with chandeliers, a commonality among the other previous churches. While the church's location may slightly detract from its overall beauty, the rich history combined with the intricate interior design makes it another one of the top 5 churches to visit in Medellín. Church 5 is next. Church 4 and 5 are literally neighbors and located within 2 minutes of walk from each other. So let's dive right in. Parroquia de San José is the next church, which was built between 1847 and 1892. Situated at a bustling intersection in downtown Medellín, with people and cars constantly whizzing by, it presents quite the contrast between old and new, antiquated and modern. Stepping inside, you are welcomed by a large statue of Christ, and on either side of the entrance, 2 more life-size statues adorn the walls. Further in, the spacious hallways unfold, offering ample seating for up to 200 people during Mass. The main altar, crafted from wood, exhibits resplendency and attention to detail. A distinctive aspect of this church is its right wing, featuring a secondary altar dedicated to Virgin Mary, alongside a crypt
that houses some exceptionally elegant statues of various sizes. This church is particularly notable for the variety of idols and figures displayed throughout its interior. Furthermore, several exceptional paintings enhance the walls as well. In summary, another gem of a church that is certainly worth a visit.
Before we move on to our next church, if you guys are enjoying this video and the churches of Medellín, please leave a like below, and comments and feedbacks are always welcome. Alright, next, church number 6. This church is quite different, both in size and the architecture, and shows the variety of churches that can be found in this city. This church is located roughly 600 meters from the previous one. So, vamos.
This church is referred to as Parroquia la Veracruz. Veracruz means the Holy Cross. This Catholic church is another oldie, with its construction beginning in the early 18th century, originally serving as a cemetery for foreigners visiting the city. The entrance courtyard features a fountain over 7 meters tall, and the front facade exhibits 3 bells. Upon entering, a modest interior featuring a relatively short aisle reveals itself. The ceiling is lined with wooden planks, and a few chandeliers hang down from it. The altar is rather simple and narrow, adorned with numerous idols and statues. As with all the other churches, this one also showcases various paintings and sculptures. The statues are quite small in size, but their details are quite intricate and noteworthy. This church was a very short stop and worth visiting, especially if you are an avid admirer of statues and idols.
We are sailing through our list of churches, aren't we? Well, church number 7 is waiting for us. This one is located on the outskirts of the city center, roughly a kilometer from our current church. So, let's go!
This is the Iglesia Jesús Nazareno. This church was constructed between 1941 and 1953 and is part of the religious heritage of Medellín. Its architectural style is Gothic, infused with a French accent. In my opinion, this is one of the most beautiful churches of Medellín, with its impressive and intricate exterior design. The tall, graceful, statuesque figure of Christ at the pinnacle is particularly striking, offering a jaw-dropping view against the backdrop of the city. The front facade is equally remarkable, seemingly reaching for the sky. The entrance of the church has been barricaded to prevent infestation of birds inside the church. As you step through, the sheer height of the white ceiling momentarily takes your breath away, before you're left awestruck by the immense vastness of the interior halls. The dome of the church strains your neck to get a proper look, and the altar area is bountifully spacious, with a string of colorful stained glass windows adorning the back wall. Multiple grandiose altar pieces made of wood embellish the lateral spaces of the altar area, enhancing the already graceful ambience of this church. Architecture, stained glass windows, altar pieces, and the ethereal ambience of this church combine to create a transcendent experience, placing it firmly in the top 2 of my favorites.
And finally, we are at our last church, church number 8. If you have stuck around this far in this video, I can assure you I've saved the best for the last. This church is as majestic and grand as it can get, located roughly a kilometer from our current church. So let's head there right away.
This here is the Catedral Metropolitana de Medellín. This is the only church in Medellín that holds the title of a cathedral. The design features 3 longitudinal aisles and 2 entrance towers, each soaring to a height of 66 meters, with the entire project requiring a staggering 1 million bricks to complete. It's located at the heart of Parque de Bolívar, an iconic park named after Simón Bolívar, who played an instrumental part in Colombia's fight for independence. The front courtyard of the church is extensive, with a fountain dancing away to welcome your visit. As you ascend the steps, the wide entrance leads into a spacious hallway with high ceilings supported by wooden beams and planks. The extremely long aisle is illuminated by several low-hanging chandeliers that cast a warm golden glow throughout the interior. Closing in, the main altar showcases a magnificent, huge statue of Christ with multiple other secondary altars on the sides. The cathedral also includes right and left wings that provide additional seating, accommodating a total of 4,500 individuals. The immensely high and wide hallways humble you and impart a larger-than-life feeling that's hard to shake. Vibrant stained glass windows, stunning paintings, and intricate mosaic artwork adorn the walls, and I found myself lost in its otherworldly ambience where time stood still. This cathedral serves as a fitting conclusion to this brief showcase of churches in Medellín, encapsulating my deep passion and admiration for these architectural marvels. Everything about this cathedral, the rich history, majestic architecture, the awe-inspiring interior, and the overall atmosphere pulls at your heartstrings and leaves a lasting impression on the soul.
Well, that's a wrap, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on this video, and I hope you guys had a lot of fun, just like I did recording this video. A special thanks to Paula, as always, for being there and supporting me, and a shout out to Julian this time for his patience and company during the recording process. I hope all of you are having an amazing Easter, and I will catch you guys soon on the next video. Take care.